Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is the finale of Season 6 of Seeking Sister Wife, Defenders of the Universe.
This is a Voltron reference, a continued Voltron reference from Nick Davis, if you misplaced that commentary.
Okay, I'm going to need them next season to find someone they don't already know, so that we can see Nick go on a first date with someone and explain the whole Voltron thing.
Spoiler, we already know that that's not going to be the case for next season, but we'll get to it. We'll make the announcements for every couple here towards the end. We're going to save the Merrifields for the very end as well. So in case you didn't want to listen in on that part, because there's been some big developments this past week.
For those of you who receive emails from TMZ, you may already know that Garrick was arrested last week. And since it involves domestic violence, we're going to save it for the end for anybody who wants to jump off, since that's a sensitive topic. So we'll give you a heads up before we get into that. But first, let's start with a couple that we really didn't need in the final episode.
They've really scrounged together a couple of different storylines here. They were scratching and clawing for content here, it seemed like.
Yeah, I feel like we could have done with 10 episodes. We didn't need 11.
I don't know why we tacked this one on. We could have summed up a lot of different things here, but we have the Johnson family, Matt and Anjelica, and kind of Shanay.
I am so tired of looking at their ugly purple couches.
Are they purple?
Maroon? I don't know.
It's a weird hue. Strange.
Unpleasant to look at. I hope if they're back next season, which I really don't want them to be, that they've replaced the couches. Maybe that's what they can use their TLC paycheck on.
There's probably better ways to spend it, but who's to judge?
So it's been a week since Matt and Shanay broke up. And Anjelica's decided, I cannot rely on my family. They're not the support system I need. I can only rely on Shanay.
That's pretty much what it's coming down to, right? She's the only one who understands what I'm going through. I think that's what she keeps coming back to.
It's been an excruciating week having to rely solely on Matt.
Oh, can't do it. Impossible. And yeah, she is struggling here, feeling not supported at all. So she's going to meet up with Shanay at a nice restaurant where she is seated and promptly orders a glass of the Cabernet.
Of their finest Cab Sav. Something that Matt failed to do when he was on that date where he was trying to impress Shanay.
Yeah, because when Shanay shows up and there's already a glass of her favorite wine waiting there for her, she's like, well, you're one step ahead of where Matt was last week, because he sure as shit didn't know that.
Why don't they date each other?
Right? Let's just stop beating around the bush here.
I just think they know each other really well. And I don't understand what Matt was contributing other than a dong.
I mean, that was pretty much it, I guess. But is it that good? Is it worth it?
No, nobody believes that.
I don't think so. I think I could confidently say probably not.
So hopefully the friendship is the thing that endures coming out of this whole relationship and this mess.
Well, either that or Anjelica, maybe she should have made up some flashcards for Matt before. She knows all this stuff about Shanay. And it's if he doesn't know, and then he's trying to win her back, I feel like they were already broken up, though, and that this was over, and this was all just done on camera because it was just, they were going to go on the show. They broke up before the show even started filming.
The whole season was a farce?
The whole season was just them recreating the breakup and dragging it out into all these different dates.
You can tell she hates that man. No, I feel like there's a marked difference from when we first met Shanay to them sitting down at the restaurant in this episode.
Well, Shanay is angry here, and she's not as angry at Matt necessarily. She's angry at Anjelica because of the witchy date. She found out, Matt spilled the beans to Shanay that, hey, me and Anjelica went on a date. And Shanay was like, excuse me, what? I'm sorry?
I would pay money just to see the grin on her face when she finally got to see that date air.
Oh, yeah. When you watch the playback of it, if you check the tape, it's not going well.
No, there was nothing to fear.
There's no chemistry happening here.
But she felt like Anjelica kept that from her. And even as they're sitting here talking about it, she's trying to minimize what it was. Where she's saying, oh, yeah, I met her. But you went on a full-on date with her.
Yeah, you went on a date. So now Anjelica feels bad. She's starting to cry. She's basically telling Shanay here that I'll do whatever it takes to make it right. And I was kind of waiting for Shanay to be like, you should leave Matt and you should come be my sister wife with this new guy. That's what I wanted the proposal to be. That's how you can make things right this time around. Dump that guy. Dump this douche.
Just become a package deal.
Yeah.
Two of you guys.
That's what it needs to be. That's what you're going to do moving forward. But no, Shanay accepts the apology. She appreciates that. She doesn't want Anjelica to feel bad. She knows that there is a future to this relationship once she kind of gets over the initial emotion here, the betrayal of
She was
the
easily
date.
manipulated, wasn't she?
Well, like, also, how quick we are to forget that Shanay was the one who was secretly dating at the beginning of this season to begin with. So, like, come on.
I think that Anjelica's purposely not been bringing that up because she doesn't want to throw it in her face because it'll just make things worse. But, like, you were the one who trespassed first.
I would casually mention it in passing just to be like, hey, let's not forget, just to kind of level set here for where we all are.
Then they try to come up with a new toast to do when they get together because they used to toast to communal dick.
Used to be, and now no more. A toast to us instead.
That's
which I
better,
feel like
ladies.
It should have always been a toast to us. It should never have been a toast to communal dick.
Especially Matt's dick.
Not worth it. We've already established. So then that kind of wraps up and just sort of ends this interaction here. And then we get Matt mumbling about how great it is that Anjelica and Shanay will stay friends.
I do think he's relieved.
I do think he is as well, because, this is one less thing for him to try to still shoulder. He's still outsourcing his emotional responsibilities to Shanay, even though they're not even dating anymore.
Also, now that she has a friend, maybe the dating pool opens up for him a little bit for the next sister wife, because it doesn't have to necessarily be someone who can be Anjelica's best friend.
Well, also, this should be proof to you, Anjelica, that you can make friends and be friends with people who are not having sex with your husband.
Right, and it's a whole lot less complicated if you remove that portion of things.
Yeah, like you could just do the friend thing, and that would be enough. That should suffice. But no, we have other lessons that are learned here instead. Matt learned that he needs to put in an effort before he's called out for not putting in an effort and then trying too late. And at that point, it's already a lost cause.
Also, the next sister wife has to live significantly closer to them because they can't do the whole travel long distance thing because it was really inconveniencing them.
Very inconvenient. Yes, someone closer and someone for Matt to go back and forth to the houses too, because Anjelica needs a little break, or maybe a little bit more distance here.
When's she going to get to have Shanay over if Matt's always lurking around?
Exactly. Yeah, these are problems that require these new solutions here that we're building up to. So where do they end up? They're not interested in having any more kids. Matt's going to try and let his guard down sooner for stuff. And Anjelica's family is still not supportive of polygamy. I think that's pretty much where we left off.
Yeah, I thought the most interesting part of the update is that he's dating a new woman, and that woman has not yet met Anjelica, who I thought was the entire reason for why they needed a sister wife.
Yeah, I still don't think that they fully understand, because Anjelica's talking about this true, deep emotional connection with people that you would forge through this process. I don't think Matt was experiencing any of those things. I think he was experiencing a different, deep connection that he was trying to get to. And that's all that mattered to him.
I don't want to see them next season.
I really don't. I would like to see Anjelica's family as its own show. We've
I
already
know.
established that.
Maybe they need a spinoff. As long as there's no Matt.
No Matt. Yeah. I can watch Anjelica. I don't think I'd be able to watch Shanay, though, for an extended period of time. I like Anjelica. I don't like Matt.
Well, that sucks for her to be the most likable one. Like, you have the TV potential and everyone else is just pulling you down. Speaking of somebody who's dragging down the vibes and they can't handle it anymore.
A common thread here throughout this season. Yes, we've got the Davis family, Nick and April and Jennifer, and they're giving Teresa the boot this week.
They have a very specific aesthetic to their home. They're big fans of that royal blue color and black and silver accents.
Is that what Voltron looks like on the inside?
I have no idea. The dressers that look like they had quilted fronts on them, I would not expect anything else. Did you notice the rhinestones on the handles too?
Oh, of course. Yes. Gorgeous. I don't think, well, okay. No, I was going to say, I don't think we should have anything that could stain in that room potentially with the amount of fluids that are flying around, I'm sure. But that's not the boom boom
I don't think
room.
it was fabric.
Oh, okay.
I know I said it has a quilted look to it.
Quilted look.
That's like a printed plastic or something.
Okay. Well, and that's not in the boom boom room. So that's what I'm saying. It's marked safe from all of the bodily fluids that are going to be whipping about here.
They're packing Teresa's bags. Today's finally the day. We were kind of left wondering, is this involuntary? Is she being evicted? What's happening?
Well, it turns out Nick gives us a quick update here. Teresa quit before she could be fired.
She saw it coming.
So
she's known for weeks.
She already knew based on the conversation. So when she went and she escaped in the Pacifica and she just started driving around town, she got to thinking and she was like, well, look, I don't think it's a good fit for me. I think I'm just going to have to move out. And so she was leaving on her own terms, on her own accord.
Do you think she went to the same apartment complex that Dannielle did? To get a lease right on the spot.
Production already had a room on hold for her. They were like, oh yeah, we knew that this was coming at some point.
Okay, can that be their lesson from this season, is stop letting your sister wives move in with you before you know this is a permanent thing?
Well, I mean, I guess there's no way to like know that it's a permanent thing because they thought that Dannielle was a permanent thing.
Okay, they did not think that Teresa was going to be here long term.
I don't think that they wanted Teresa long term. So I think this was a temporary thing that then Teresa started to think it was a permanent thing. And then they had to remind her very quickly, no, ma'am, I'm sorry to inform you of this.
I really think April's the driving force behind getting rid of her.
I think Nick was equally as done with her. Jennifer would have let her stay there for the next 20 years. If you asked her up front, be like,
I do think that Nick has like a soft spot for her, perhaps because of the friendship that they've had over the years, but he's not attracted to her in the way that he wants to have a relationship with her.
Well, I think he's over this scenario where then it is
because
you keep
every
perpetually
day April's telling him how much she needs this bitch out of her house.
Well, but like also because it's like every time he goes to tell Teresa like, hey, it's over, then she cries, then she like claws her way back into this where then Nick's like, yeah, all right. And then he kind of goes along with it. So I think he already reached his breaking point where it's like they've had multiple conversations that have gone that route. He is done with the manipulation to stay around now. Your eviction date is at this day and this time. Please bring the Pacifica and we will load it for you.
Yeah, I think that April had to set a rule where none of them could speak one-on-one with Teresa anymore. They had to collectively do it in a group.
Especially Jennifer. Yeah, like, I don't know how much communication Jennifer's been doing directly with Teresa, but I'm sure she's always on board for giving her another shot here.
So she pulls up into the driveway in the Pacifica, and she has to drag herself out of the car and up the driveway to the garage.
That's just kind of the way that she moves, the way she carries herself in general, I think. A little bit, right?
Yeah, she seems like she's pained to have to do this. Like she has to make it obvious to everybody else that this is not something that she's enjoying doing.
Well, also I like that her lash is popping loose too, so she has completed her Dannielle transition at this point.
No, that's how we know in this family that things aren't going well with the other sister wife, because they quite literally become unglued.
It's very literal.
Their plig lash pops.
Plig lash,
and that's when you know they're cooked
and out there. And yeah, she's done. It's over. So what's the first thing when she walks into the garage and she's met with the Davis family here? How do you feel? How do you feel, Teresa? Why would you ask her that, Jen? Don't bring that up. Don't bring up the feelings. We're going to unleash this whole thing. It's just keep it amicable. Do you need anything else? Is everything here for you?
We're done hearing about her feelings. That's been the whole problem.
Well, because then here's the other problem too, is that Teresa's like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel stupid. Oh, okay. Some more negative self-talk on the way out the door here. That's what we were just conferring about.
Yeah, they're all exhausted from having to then build her up when she gets herself in moods like this. You would think you'd be on your best behavior, right? When you'd walk in and be careful of what
For
you
Teresa?
say. Yeah.
Well, I mean, or at least semi-aware of what's going on. But instead, it's she feels stupid. Oh, it's just, I thought you guys could heal me, but I guess you couldn't. And I need to do that myself.
Good.
Okay, yes, that's good to understand.
Go to a therapist.
Please, yes.
A professional.
Learn the way. Yeah, it's not going to be a new age healing path for you from other people that's going to be the answer for this. I think you need to find that within yourself and some security and some stability.
I do think that they probably pitched that to her at the beginning, though. That they thought
they would
that
heal
they could
her?
fix her.
Oh, yeah. I could see that being a thing of like, oh, yeah, if you're around us enough because our love is so pure, and then that will just rub off onto you.
We all exude confidence. You'll be like us by the end of this.
But instead, Nick's like, well, just to clarify, there's no ill will, but you do need to vacate the premises as soon as possible here.
Please never come back.
And so again, it's just, oh, how depressing it is that Teresa wasn't able to receive their love. They have so much love in the Davis family. It's just, I never thought that I would be able to accept that. And turns out, yep, I was right. I wish I could, but I can't.
It was surprisingly mutual because I thought that this was going to go really badly. Like my prediction from the beginning would have been that they had to like throw Teresa out against her will.
I mean, she was still trying to, so I don't know if this is just like instinct of her reaction to these sorts of scenarios when she kept telling Nick, you're my best friend, you're my best friend. And like, she's breaking down a little bit.
I noticed he never said you're my best friend too.
Yes, no.
Nothing to encourage her
that was
at
not his
all.
perception of the situation. And so it was just like, okay. I don't know what the little gift box was that she was holding. I don't know if they just edited around that. Like if they gave her something as a parting gift here or something. I wish we would have been able to see that more. But I did like when Teresa got out to the car and she's hugging Nick goodbye. And she goes, I would pick you up and spin you if my ankle didn't hurt right now. And I think that's what everybody was afraid of, was that she was going to pick up Nick and ragdoll him around the driveway here.
I did not see that.
You didn't catch that part?
No.
That's a good part. You don't want to miss that.
Are you kidding?
That is verbatim, word for word. Okay, I know it's hard to tell because there's people who like don't watch the shows when we recap it. And obviously we'll throw in jokes. This is a direct quote of what Teresa whispers in Nick's ear.
I wish they had done it so that we could have had a full circle like that date.
Literally full circle.
To the ending of the relationship.
So that is not the case. That is not how this plays out. But Teresa rides off in the Chrysler Pacifica into the sunset. I hope her head gaskets are okay.
Do you think that they exercise the house of her energy? Because suddenly everything's better. They're getting ready for prom with William, who we never see on the show.
Never see on the show.
This is April and Nick's son.
And they're back to the joy of the holy trinity of Nick and April and Jennifer. No new dates for now. They're not looking to add anyone. They're going to kind of focus in on Jenny's new baby, who's due very soon.
Very reasonable compared to some of the other families in this episode.
Hey, that sounds good. Yeah, let's focus on that. And then eventually we'll get to the place where we'll be looking to add again. But only Voltron-approved pilots moving forward. We need to enjoy this process, enjoy the journey, but only certified professional Voltron experts moving forward.
It's not as easy as we make it look.
You know, yeah, like you can take it for granted, obviously, when it's going so well with the three of us.
Why don't they just keep it the three of them?
Because they have to add more. That's the whole point, is that it's like more, you know?
The bed's got room, so they got to keep going.
Yeah, we can't have this big of a bed for three people, because then that's just ridiculous.
So we get their update of what's happened since the season ended filming, and Charlene Von Teese Davis was born.
Is it Von Teese or Von Tess?
I'm sorry, Von Tess.
Yeah, because Von Teese would be something else, I think.
I made it even better.
Even better.
There are people out there that believed it.
Okay. Von Teese? Reality Von Teese was born?
Von Tess.
Oh, Von Tess, yes.
Teresa's trying to come back. No surprise there.
She's trying. She's not succeeding.
Misses the old accommodations.
Nick says no. And Jen and April have a new find on the horizon here. And it turns out it's a friend of Teresa's. Probably someone else in that Facebook photo. I would bet money on it.
We've only got 2 more to go.
I mean, for as many people as they know or claim to know, it's slim pickings, though. They don't have a lot to sort through here.
I hope this means that Teresa will film next season about the fact that they're dating a friend.
That could be interesting.
I mean, get the girl a paycheck. We need to send her to therapy. The Davis family, I think they're probably guaranteed to be here again next season.
Oh, I could definitely see them back next season. Yeah.
Reise and Billie Jean?
The Williamsons.
There wasn't too much to what was going on with them in this episode.
No, it was kind of like a Sister Wives Coyote Pass episode for them,
Yes,
where they're just kind of
let's go
wandering.
to some open land and dream of what the future could look like.
Oh, yes. We're going to visualize what this looks like and what we're planning here and what we want the future to hold for us. Nice vacant lot for all of your hopes and dreams.
So this was inherited by Billie Jean from her family?
It's about an acre of land right down the road from their house. And this is the future site of the sister wife compound here. Maybe let's come up with a new name. Compound has
that makes it sound scary.
It makes it sound bad. Negative connotation.
Also, it's only going to be 2 houses. I don't think 2 houses makes a compound.
Yeah, it's not compound. I mean, if there's other structures, because obviously they have a chicken coop. We've seen that. So maybe there's a barn, some other farmland creatures here.
Maybe they should wait until they actually have someone who this is also a mutual dream of theirs.
Yeah, so you can build it like together and stuff, or like, I think that was what they were narrowing down here as well. It's just one sister wife that we're going to add into this mix, right? One so far, or like one and that's it? One and done?
One and done.
I think one and done.
I don't think Billie Jean's going to be able to handle the one.
I don't think so either. And so that's what they were trying to say. We didn't see Randi in this last episode because Randi's been busy with her new job, but things are progressing nicely.
She's on her way out.
Well, she's
been busy with her new job. That's
very
a convenient
busy
excuse
with work.
to slowly phase yourself out.
Well, it's still the jealousy concern. Like that's what it comes down to with Billie Jean. She's thinking that this is easier to manage from the sister wife realm here if they have the 2 separate houses on the compound, and then she doesn't have to see or hear any of the other relationship. Just pretend it doesn't exist at all.
Generally never interact with them when the other sister wife is with Reise.
Which seems odd. It doesn't seem like that would be very realistic. Doesn't seem like that would work. But hey, communication is key. So she's going to keep those lines open and make sure that everybody's on the same page moving forward if anything comes up here. It won't be easy, but we're ready to face it together. That's what they're excited about here.
Update, Randi left them.
Well, yeah, Randi's gone. I was bummed about that, to find out that Randi left. I was like really upset by that.
Maybe Reise was keeping the chats to PG-13?
She was losing interest, you think? Either that or it was Billie Jean was not a big fan of this going R-rated. I mean, I think Randi wanted a 3rd date and she wasn't getting it.
Yeah, Randi was weirdly into Reise. That may have been their only shot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like your options were limited from the onset here too. So Billie Jean's going to focus on those jealousy issues. I get the feeling that if you're including that as part of the update, that's probably part of the reason why Randi said, I'm not interested in moving forward with this relationship anymore.
Yeah, but they did a really good job of shielding that from the cameras, which is a bummer for us because it would have been more interesting to watch.
That makes me feel like it was a bigger factor for Randi to leave. If you're then calling out in the next line, there's only 3 little sentences here for the update tiles at the end. Oh, because the other one is they've decided to do another round of IVF. So another kiddo on the way.
Which I know we've mentioned throughout the episodes that they are pregnant with another. I don't know if it's one baby or multiples.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyway,
she is
Billie Jean's
though.
pregnant again.
Yeah. So it worked. It's good.
So there was a theory that was out there online about maybe they came on the show just to make a little bit of money to do another round of IVF.
Which, I mean, hey, more power to you.
Yeah.
Like, go for it. Cool. But I did like Randi. I don't know why I liked Randi so much. Why am I so invested in Randi?
She seemed like she was a good fit.
Yeah. Like
if this was going to work between them and another person, it felt like Randi would be the right one.
There's nobody else that will fit. So I think that's why I'm upset. Yeah. Is that they've kind of let that go. You let a good one get away.
I would watch them again if they came back, but I'm keeping my expectations low.
They don't seem like a multi-season couple to me.
No. I agree.
Yeah. It doesn't look like they would go that route, I don't think.
And I'm pretty sure that Reese did not enjoy the commentary that there was about the show and himself.
Well, I'm sure this is nothing new for what he's had to experience his whole life, but to
except
hear
for
it,
the scale of it.
I was going to say, but to hear it from everyone on the planet simultaneously, it's probably a little bit more overwhelming.
The Merrifields?
We got the Merrifields, we got Garrick and Dannielle and Lorrana.
So here's our warning again. If you want to hop off because you don't want to hear about the sensitive topics that we're going to discuss, we'll see you next episode.
Well, I guess quick Peralta update then, if you're going to jump. We got Yessel and Dani, vow renewal, surprise, which they posted.
Kiss of death. That's the end of that relationship.
I mean, that's the end of that relationship. But also, if you were online just a couple months ago, you'd know the date, the time, everything specifically for it.
Yeah, they didn't lock that wedding website down at all.
Not have any sort of cybersecurity concerns about this at all before going public on this season here. So vow renewal surprise. Dani was very excited about that. No Jackie. Haven't heard from Jackie. And they are currently seeking and still not finding. So there you go.
I don't think we'll ever hear from them again.
I hope not.
Yeah.
God, I hope not. All right. So the Merrifields now, trigger warning, watch out.
So let's start with what happened. So Garrick was arrested last week on a charge of phone obstruction. So what we've since learned from doing our due diligence using ChatGPT to research Colorado law is that there's no standalone charge for domestic violence. It's treated as an enhancement to the other charge, which is the case here. So it sounds like he tried to keep Lorrana from calling 911 or contacting the authorities.
He withheld access from her phone, and it adds a whole other layer too, because if obviously that is her main translator app, and like that is how she's able to communicate with people in the United States here. So,
well, not just that, that's the only way she's able to communicate with her friends and family and people who care about her,
yes,
who aren't here
back in Brazil. So like having that restriction, you're basically cutting her off in every way, shape, and form.
There was also another report that came out a few days later that said he had threatened to call ICE on her. That I guess there must have been a dispute between the two of them.
That's what I mean. It sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, we just don't know the details of it. But obviously he's trying to use the fact that she's here on a green card against her.
Even though he's the one who brought her here, and he's been taking her through all of the legal proceedings to have her remain here legally. So that seems odd to then reach
obviously,
out.
Obviously, that's very gross to threaten to somebody.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Clearly, but then also that doesn't make any sense.
The logic doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't
there is
track.
no logic to it.
Why would you do that when you're the one who brought her? You're sponsoring her.
You're her petitioner.
Yeah. So like, okay, that all seems odd. It seems like it was just related to a dispute then. Yes.
Apparently he was bailed out. So he's out somewhere. He wasn't allowed to return back to the home that they are all living in. I don't know for how long. But Lorrana's just been posting pictures of their baby.
I think that's where it gets tricky. Yeah, is because then Lorrana was granted access to the home that they live in. So Garrick had to vacate the premises. Where does that leave Dannielle? Dannielle's parents live in that house too. Did they all move out? Is it just Lorrana living there? Like there's so many questions, so many unknowns, because there's not really any reporting or charges that are related to Dannielle's involvement in this. But we know with her unquestioned loyalty to Garrick, I'm sure that she has a part to play in this too. Even if it's just reeling her back in at the end of this to talk her down, drop the charges, convince her it was all a big mix-up, misunderstanding, whatever the deal.
Well, that's where it starts to become concerning of like the level of toxicity in this type of relationship when there's now domestic violence involved.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, spoiler alert, because yes, we do have a pregnancy test that we're still waiting on the results to find out about here.
Surprise, sister's pregnant.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, she's pregnant.
Okay, why are they on the bathroom floor? First of all, they did not bother to vacuum any of the carpets.
There's so much hair. There's so much hair all over the floor.
Which there's a lot of hair all over the floor of our bathroom.
To be fair, but if I'm going to film a pregnancy result on the floor, I would probably hit it with the vacuum once or twice here.
I agree.
Send the Roomba first.
Also, if I'm Dannielle, I'm putting a sock or some type of shoe on my claws.
Over the
What
toe.
is going on? It was so distracting.
She's got, the
She's
Dannielle
got
toenail.
her hoof out, fully exposed. I think has she been out running barefoot?
I don't know. Carly was convinced that there was like dirt in the toenail, which what
All
causes
along
that?
the sides.
I don't get dirt in my toenails because I don't have my shoes off outside.
You're not running barefoot like Lydia Plath on the farm.
Yeah, I think that's mostly why. So like if that was dirt, I don't know how dirt would get into those places that you thought there was dirt.
Doesn't Dannielle just give you the vibe of, those running shoes that are just like the glove that goes on your foot?
Yeah, with the toes.
I think she is big into them.
Didn't they determine that that's like really terrible for running, especially?
I don't know.
I
You
don't
better
remember.
not be spitting
I
facts
don't
about
know.
that because we're going to be attacked by
Well,
the
I don't want to
running
endorse
community.
them either. Yeah, so I don't want to bring them up and then people will be like, those are actually really terrible. Okay, I don't know.
Someone's going to say they're really great.
I don't run. Okay, I
That's
don't run
true.
for anything.
I'm certainly not going to run without a pair of shoes on my feet.
Absolutely not going to do that. I felt like a fly in this entire scene. There was something about Dannielle's camera, the cell phone footage that was just like whipping around different areas of the room. It felt like a fisheye lens in some ways. There was like lens flare that was happening. I don't know if it was like a GoPro that was in like a waterproof case and it was catching a glare or something. There was just something odd. Was there Vaseline on the lens? What was the point of this? What was happening?
I think she already cried onto the lens of her phone.
Sister
Sister Dannielle.
I felt so torn up about this, like distracted and just removed from this because I'm trying to figure out, why am I seeing things the way that I'm seeing them?
I think they wanted us to feel like we're in this really raw moment with the two of them finding out together because Garrick's still gone on a trip. He's in, was it Wisconsin?
He's up in Wisconsin.
So he's in Wisconsin. They're still in Colorado. And they're finding out that Lorraine's pregnant while he's not here.
And Lorena's kind of coming to terms with it too. She sort of wishes that she would have been able to enjoy her marriage a little bit more before pregnancy, but she is excited nonetheless. She doesn't really sound excited. She sounds kind of terrified.
I was a little worried by her demeanor. I don't know that we can read too much into the tone.
Right.
Since she's speaking Portuguese, but she was rocking back and forth on the couch as she was saying this. Did you notice that?
She was nervous. She was alarmed. She was scared. It seemed like there was a lot of negative feelings in this, not as many positive feelings. And I think it's probably just, oh my gosh, this is so fast. It's so sudden. It wasn't expected.
Well, of course, the entire thing is terrifying.
Yes.
You're going to have a baby in a country that, you don't speak the same language as the doctors and the nurses who are going to be there caring for you. You have to rely even more on Garrick and Dannielle to help you navigate things.
Which has been terrifying this entire time. And you could really tell it was when Dannielle was joking about, oh, what do you think? You're having twins maybe? And Lorrana was like, no. Oh, no, I don't think so. But just that immediate, oh God, no.
One's enough to start thinking about, never mind two.
It was terrifying.
With Garrick's little face on them.
Well, congrats, I guess.
So they conspired to send a care package to Garrick. That's how they're going to tell him about the pregnancy.
And they're signing on Sam Mark Ruffalo as an accomplice here, where Dannielle is instructing him to make sure that you film Garrick opening this gift because we need the footage for the storyline, okay? It's very important.
So in this box, they've put a balloon that said, let's celebrate.
I think so.
It was half deflated by the time it got there.
Well, it was a couple days late.
And then a little pair of baby boots.
Baby shoes, never worn.
Which Garrick does not really seem to understand the significance of.
Garrick was going through this stuff where he was like, it's cute, but like, I don't think it'll fit me. It's like,
they're not my size.
Dude, think about it. Oh, it's for a baby.
Because they include the pregnancy test.
There it is. They shipped the original one?
Can we stop doing this?
Stop sending the pea sticks everywhere.
Stop. Don't bake them into cakes.
No.
Don't gift them to people.
Don't touch them. Don't touch them.
Once you're done urinating on them and you get the answer, dispose of them.
Properly. In the appropriate receptacles.
I don't know if you can even technically mail that. Can you put that through USPS?
This is a fucking biohazard is what it is. Did you wrap it in like plastic wrap or something? No.
No.
It was just in there, loose, wrapped in tissue paper, soaked in pee. There you go. Thanks a lot. It took Garrick a couple of minutes, but then he finally puts two and two together here. Oh, she's pregnant.
Oh, he had to confirm which sister is pregnant.
Which one?
He knows it's probably not Dannielle, even though he did take a minute to go, oh.
He guessed.
Lorrana's pregnant?
Yeah, he had to make sure. Well, and I think it's also hitting him too. Oh, no. I broke my new toy. Because now I'm not going to be fucking as often as I thought I was going to be here. And there is going to be a dry spell after.
I do see Garrick as the type who would think that you can't have sex while pregnant because it'll harm the baby.
Yeah, the sperm will get into their brain. It's very bad.
That, and there's no way he can make it, the 6 weeks afterwards.
No, I don't think so.
He's going to have a new sister wife by then.
Yes, I think that becomes top priority here. But at first we get a quick little sermon from Garrick, too, about how pregnancy is how God perfects women. I see that God still hasn't figured out a way to perfect men, though, because that seems to be the gap.
It doesn't matter how many pregnancies this man's wives have had.
Yeah, like I don't think that that's related in there. So perfection as something to seek out, that's odd that women have such an easy path to perfection. And then for Garrick, he's still looking for that. I thought that was odd.
I'm not so sure it's an easy path.
Well, not easy. Biological route there, that it's just you do one thing.
We're getting into science and we have no idea what Garrick would say.
That's not anything that he would be in favor of here at all. So we'll go to the baby shower and we got
a gender reveal.
It's kind of, yeah.
Is it both? I don't
know what they're doing here. This is just a way for Dannielle to vicariously celebrate some other stuff, probably, because then we find out that this is also on the 5th anniversary of their legal divorce. Why do they keep doing this? They keep cutting back these good dates, these good things that they're planning on days where they had something horrible, terrible, awful.
Okay. I mean, the last time it was Dannielle's birthday that Lorrana arrived on.
Well, yeah. I mean, terrible, awful, horrible.
An awful day for Garrick.
Awful day for Garrick. Why do they keep doing this?
Why are they talking to baby Leia like she speaks Portuguese?
Because baby Leia read the People article, and so she already knows that this baby's going to be a girl, and so they were like, a baby? A witchy?
Me think it girl is what...
Me think girl. Dannielle tells Lorrana, and Lorrana's like, I think it's a girl.
Lorrana's English is already surpassing Dannielle's.
We knew it was coming. She was only... 2 or 3 lessons per week. So it was only going to take a couple weeks
for her to get to this level.
The student becomes the master.
It does not help people who are trying to learn English, whether it be a child or an adult, to speak that way.
Broken English, baby talk, not good. Real bad, actually. Me think it caused problems.
I wonder if they're having Leia learn Portuguese from Lorrana.
I don't think so.
She's more malleable than Dannielle and Garrick's brains are.
She'd be able to pick up on it. Yeah, quicker, for sure. But I don't think they're like, she won't need to know that. you're learning English, so you don't have to teach her that stuff.
Well, they could use her as a translator in the future. Take her on daddy's bang trips.
Not for legal documents, though. Yeah, imagine the torment that this child's going to have to go through to translate her father's sexual desires to his future potential wives here. Please, let's not do that.
I don't think we'll have to be concerned about that. She might be seeing him in a detention center.
Yeah, hopefully. I thought for a moment at this party that Lady Sam was Jessie from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives for a second.
That a crossover you weren't expecting?
I was not expecting that. Just when I saw her face pop up, my brain was like, oh, it's Jessie. We're going to hear about Marciano.
Say it's Marciano here.
Maybe the lie detector test for the pregnancy test. It goes hand in hand here. I don't know.
They don't even need to do this because Garrick already had God come to him and God told him that it's going to be a girl.
Was he in the same spot with the garage and the wind blow? Was that the same one?
I don't know. I don't know if it's one particular place of significance that this happens to him.
Or it just happens whenever he already knows.
I think he smokes a bowl and then he thinks that God speaks to him.
He was making some weird sounds at a couple different intervals here when Lorrana and Dannielle were talking to him. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was trying to communicate. He was gesturing and just making guttural noises. So I don't know what this man's going through. I don't know if he's in distress. Something was going on. But then they're explaining to us, okay, here's the big reveal. It's the cupcake reveal where they did like a drop of food coloring on the bottom of a single cupcake.
They left this to a child.
Well, not Garrick.
Not Garrick.
No.
Was this like one of their nephews? I don't know.
One of the,
someone baked the cupcakes.
One of the sons. They got two sons, teenage boys, who were in charge of the results. And then they had to put the proper food dye in the bottom of the cupcake tin. Did you forget they had two sons?
No, I know they did.
Okay.
I just didn't. Now I'm questioning who actually was in charge of baking the cupcakes. It's irrelevant.
See, here's what's
frustrating. They did a bad job.
Well, bad job all around. And what's frustrating here is that they've made it like a hide and go seek element here too, where it's only one cupcake that has the answer. Please don't do that, because then we're going to go through all these cupcakes in the tin and then nobody's going to realize that they actually had the right one, because we're having kids bite into cupcakes and they're like, no, there's nothing in this. No, I didn't find anything. And then there's the one kid who does bite into it and they're like, did you get it? And he's like, no, nothing on mine. And they're like, wait, let's double check this wrapper here. Because yeah, of course, it is on the bottom of that one. He ate the results. He didn't even know.
See, that's why you got to stop baking the pregnancy tests into things.
Stop doing that. Don't do that.
See, some people, they'll just eat anything.
It's a girl, if you didn't know.
God spoiled it for us.
Yeah.
So.
And Leah.
Was it odd, Leia? Wasn't it weird that Dannielle kept taking things over? Like she was facilitating the gender reveal to the point that it felt like it was her party?
Lorrana can't do that, right? Like she wouldn't be able to
go
through the translator app with all
this. One of the Sams was
this.
like, let her decide who gets to pick the first cupcake.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, instead of you ordering everything around the way that you want it to be, why don't you let her decide some things?
I was going to say, from the planning perspective, it makes sense that Dannielle would have to take over for that. But at the actual party itself, yeah, maybe we should have handed things over to Lorrana to have her decide on some of those.
So now they have two girls, and then obviously the older boys.
And this has solidified Lorrana as part of their family. She's not going anywhere. She's in it for the long haul here.
So they think at this period of time.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, well, then this is where Garrick decides to slip in the fact, too, of, oh, we're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to pursue some more wives as well. And that sentiment falls a little bit flat with the group here.
Why is the other woman always surprised by this?
Because I think he mentions it once initially when they first start dating. And then they never talk about it again until they get married. And then he brings it up as like, yeah, well, this is the next thing that we're doing.
Well, also, it is really uncomfortable because it feels like they are collecting women because they've achieved their goal of getting her here. I don't think Garrick intended to get her pregnant that quickly. But
no,
here they are.
Yeah. And like, it's on to the next one, though. Definitely.
It's got to feel like that to her, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could tell she's not into it. Lorrana's not into it. She's worried. She's more concerned from just like a timing perspective of like, we're going to need to focus on, there's going to be a new baby, big life change here. I don't think it's time to be like dating casually in the midst of all of that. And Garrick has to convince her, no, this is what God wants. It's good. It's good that
it's what I want.
Well, it's good.
Because God wants it. Wink, wink.
Because God says that we're doing this. And even though it's not always easy, but it is the right thing to do. And then Garrick lets it slip, which we called this a couple episodes ago, that, oh yeah, because the next gal that we look to marry here, Dannielle's going to have to take care of that because I'm not going to be able to divorce Lorrana for a couple of years until she gets her green card solidified here.
How did Dannielle not think about that? She's
because the reason being Dannielle was expecting, oh, I figured we were going to be looking for another sister wife again in a few years. She thought that they had reset the clock on this.
Okay, then why isn't that a conversation between the three people in this relationship?
Because it hasn't been. Then that's what she's saying. She's like, from her reaction, she was not ready for this either to be happening in this time frame.
Well, and I know that from the very brief amount that I read of their book, Garrick is the head of the family. And so what he says is what they're going to be doing.
He makes decisions and then they just deal with them. So Garrick has wildly upset both of these women on the couch. Dannielle has to get up and walk out. Lorrana probably would too if she understood all of the conversation that was going on here, but they haven't been translating all of these back and forths here for her. So she might not know exactly what Garrick is talking about at this point, or the logistics that are going on behind the scenes here.
Their update? I hope it's the same one that airs, because we got a screener of this episode before the news that Garrick got arrested broke.
Right.
So they could go back and change the update. I don't know.
They could, but the one that we got was Sarah May was born in June. They continue to seek, even though Lorrana's still apprehensive, and Dannielle hopes for someone in the U.S. so she doesn't need to marry them.
Which is going to have to be the route they go.
That looks...
Now that Garrick's been arrested for domestic violence.
So her prayers have been answered, Dannielle. You will absolutely need to marry someone from the United States because you will not be able to.
Or he's going to put it more on her that there is the pressure for her to have somebody come here.
So that might have made things a little bit more complicated here. But that is season 6 of Seeking Sister Wife. That brings us to the end here. What a conclusion. What a wrap up. Almost made it out completely unscathed.
Without someone being arrested.
Oh, it was so close.
We're not shocked. Is anyone really shook by the fact that Garrick is a piece of shit?
The entire basis of their relationship. If Dannielle realized that all of the things that Garrick was doing was illegal and was basically domestic violence or spousal abuse, I think that she would figure that out too, but she hasn't come to terms with that at this point yet. She's just still going along with everything and not questioning it.
I don't know if we'll see them next season. TLC does not have a good track record as far as pulling people off of a series because they've been arrested for something.
Yeah, that hasn't stopped them before. We had Joffrey on 90 Day. Remember, that was a whole thing. So I think it's a very real possibility that they could be back next season. I know it took a couple of seasons before they canceled the Snowdens here.
Maybe it depends how much comes out of this as a follow-up. If this just ends up being the extent of what gets publicly known.
Or especially at this point, if the charges do get dropped or something like that, there are other...
Right, they may not.
Situations that could arise or changes that could, it could change the trajectory of how this ends up.
That's what I'm saying, though. I feel like they concern themselves when there's a lot of conversation about something and it becomes more well known. But the fact that it's dark and that it's obviously a crime was committed is not automatically something that TLC seems to concern themselves with.
No, it's not enough on its own merit to steer them away.
Well, what's up next on the podcast? Because obviously we've now ended this chapter of Seeking Sister Wife.
Well, we have a very merry marathon planned for the month of December here on Surviving Reality. We're going to kick off the marathon with a Newport Christmas, which is the 2025 Hallmark Channel original movie.
It's a little bit of Outlander, A little bit of a transatlantic accent situation where we have Ella, who is a Newport socialite from 1905 who's been magically thrust into the year of 2025.
Thrust? Oh, dear.
One of our favorite things to do this time of year is just rip on these very terrible holiday movies.
So we do have a little bit of an interim here because don't forget, Traitors Season 4 starts January 8th. So we'll keep you posted for that as well. But in the meantime, all the month of December is going to be holiday movies here.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.